Hey BookTube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you're new to me and it's the first time you're seeing my face, hello, what's up? My name is Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So I hope it's why you're here because that's what's going to be happening today. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in and the continued support. I really do appreciate it. So today for you, I have my week 34 weekly wrap up. This includes the dates from August 18th through August 24th and all my reading shenanigans in between. So if you'd like to find out what was occupying my time that time, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, and let's get talking some books. Okay, so week 34, I completed one book, made a dent in another audiobook, and started a third book. So we've got some stuff to talk about. So let's get into it. So in week 34, I was still working with my audiobook of Take by Pam Godwin. It looks like this. I had made more of a dent into it, but at this point in time, it's still just the fifth installment to the Deliver series. We feature Captor Captive, and at this point I have seen rape, blood play, urination, self-mutilation, and psychological torture. Because if you don't know, the Deliver series is a very, very dark fucking series. It's a very dark series. It is not for the faint of heart. I started the series about 2 years ago, and I have been obsessed with it ever since. It's fantastic. It gave me one of my favorite books of 2022, one of my favorite male heroes, Van, which I get to see for a brief moment so far. I get to see him again. Because the beautiful thing about this series is you can't read these by themselves. Absolutely don't read these by themselves because you will lose the beauty of these stories if you read these by themselves. However, each book is about a separate couple, but they do all tie in together. So you want to know how they're interconnected and how they're interweaved with the other couples in the previous book. So please do read this series in order. That's the best recommendation I can give you at the time for these books, is that you do have to read these in order to really understand and grasp the full story, because there is an overarching plot to this story, and it slowly is being given to you through each installment and through each couple. Okay. But I was still working on this one at the time. It's one of those books that I have to read in doses because Pam Godwin writes so intensely and so dark that you have to be in the right mindset. So I can't always just jump right in there. So while I was listening to that, I decided to pick up this guy, The Amish Bachelor by Samantha Price. Yeah, the juxtaposition there is just fucking hilarious. All right. Hilarious. So let me just set the scene. I watched an Amish movie on Lifetime. It was about an Amish murder that actually took place, and I went down a fucking rabbit hole. Okay, I went down rabbit hole, and I haven't really come back out yet. Okay, took a little trip down the rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland, all that fucking shit, and now I want to read his Amish romances. And I picked this guy up first. This is the first installment to the seven Amish Bachelor series. Okay, it is Christian romance and it's contemporary romance. We do feature suicide and infidelity in this. So there's some dark stuff in it for what I expected to get. A quick summary. We have Hazel, who has come to work for the Fullers to help earn extra money to support her mother, who is suffering from a severe depression. Hazel is coming from another Amish community to earn money because she's not really welcome in this community anymore because of a secret that her family is holding and her mother is having to deal with. Okay, so it's kind of going against the community superstitions and things of that nature. So she's left town to work at this other community for the Fullers. Isaac is the eldest of the Fuller sons, and he has been in a romantic relationship with Mary Lou for about 2 years, which is very, very strange that he has not asked her to marry him yet. He is a member of the church. He is of age to marry, but he has not asked the question. And Mary Lou's kind of like, hey, are you ever gonna marry me? Like, what's going on? And also Isaac happens to be very, very attractive. Hazel meets Isaac by chance in the Fuller's carpentry shop. Isaac is not aware that his father has hired outside work. So their first meeting is kind of inconvenient and kind of off the cuff and not the best. So they don't start off on the best of 2 feet. But Isaac remembers a young girl when he was very, very young, about 12 years old, with the same eyes that Hazel has. And it reminds him of this memory that he proposed to that girl. And it makes him start thinking, maybe this is the reason I haven't proposed to Mary Lou. Because maybe I'm still looking for that girl. And Hazel reminded him of it. So throughout this story, we see Isaac being torn because everyone seems to want Hazel and Isaac together, and Hazel has no fucking idea about any of this, and Isaac doesn't really want to be tied down, especially to Mary Lou, and everyone's trying to pull Isaac and Hazel, kind of forcing them together, and Mary Lou's like, no. So she's trying to be the crux of the position. There's a lot of stuff kind of going on, and Isaac has to eventually make a decision and just decide what to do. So that's kind of where we start off with our story. And what worked? I like the original concept of the story. I thought it was a cute element to this, girl meets boy. Boy remembers an instance from childhood that this girl reminds him of. And he's been secretly chasing for years and not even realizing it. And maybe this girl could be the one, second chance type deal. I love that the long-term relationship needs to move forward or end. Shit or get off the pot, dude. Come on, make a decision. And I like the fact that there are secrets involved with Hazel and her family. I liked all of these elements within the story itself. And it was just how they were kind of put together. There was a lot of really good elements of the story, but they just didn't kind of mesh all that well for me. I really liked Aunt B. She was the saving grace of the story. She is Hazel's aunt, and she's probably the only voice of fucking reason in this whole goddamn story. Absolutely. She's like, Hazel, you need to go do something for yourself. Go be your own person. I've got your mom. You don't have to take care of her. You need to do this. And I liked the fact of her. I liked how she voiced things and how she put things. She just seemed very reasonable compared to all the other characters in this book that are going off of basically societal expectations. B seemed to have her own mind, and she imposed that onto Hazel, who later on definitely had her own fortitude, her own mind, her own candor, and I really liked the fact that she was able to voice it and show it in the Amish community. So I really enjoyed those elements in the story. However, that's pretty much all that really worked in this story for me, because what didn't work was the instant connection between these two. So we have the meeting and not really getting off on the good foot, and then all of a sudden people are trying to push them together, and it's like, oh, I guess we're supposed to like each other, and now we do. What the fuck? Are you what? No, that I have seen instas that are done well. I've seen instas that are just kind of I mean, I'm not a big fan of Insta to begin with, but this Insta just, I wouldn't even say this is fucking Insta, because there was no basis for their connection at all. At least Insta connections have something. They have a lust component or a fated component. They have some kind of component to make the Insta at least justifiable. There was nothing, except he had a memory of a girl that he proposed to when he was 12 that he thought looked like this girl. That's a little bit of a stretch. Hair stretch. I felt like the Insta was she was trying to force an Insta connection. And if you're trying to force an Insta connection, then you don't have anything to really start with in the first place. You have nothing to work with at all. So that was annoying. Mary Lou was fucking irritating. I did not like her. I thought she was petty, and I found her irritating. I'm pretty sure that's what I was supposed to do for her. So kudos, she did a good job, but she was really fucking irritating. I didn't like her. I could have done the whole story without her. Whole fucking story without her. I did not give a shit about that girl at all. So once we actually start making these decisions of marriage and we're going to be together, where the fuck do you get off with this? There was no instances of them together that justified the want to be married, except people pushing you to do it. And maybe that's the reason, because of the community aspect of the story that I just was lost on me. But the couple didn't really have anything except this one instance when they were 12 a long time ago. That's the only connection that we got. but we don't see any softening on Hazel's side of, you know, kind of looking at Isaac or thinking about Isaac. She's always just like, he's my boss's son. He's with Mary Lou. Like, off the bat, you're unavailable. I can't, you're not available to me. But you see a little bit on his side, kind of like peeking in and like catching her talking to things, talking to people, and, you know, learning her nuances. But other than that, you got fuck all. Like, there's no evidence for this connection. There's nothing. Like, what are you trying to do here? I don't think the concept was really thought through and executed well. There was not a lot of explanation for the rules in the society, and I think if there had been, that societal push evidence that we were getting for this relationship may have worked. But since I didn't have any backstory for the rules, it's just because. Okay, well, I feel like, you know, the child who said, you know, the excuse that because I said so. Well, that's not a reason. No, it's not. It's a preposition. Give me a fucking reason. And I didn't get one. So I needed more explanation for some of those rules and societal beliefs to maybe justify the societal push element that she was trying to go with. And it didn't have it. And what the fuck was with the mother? Isaac's mother gets in his face and is all like, you need to make an arrangement, you need to get married, you need to decide what you want to do with Mary Lou, you need to do this, you need to stick with this, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden he's like, I maybe kind of like Hazel. Oh, that's fucking great. Awesome. Congratulations. I'm sorry. What? You are condoning your son fucking using a chick for 2 years. Get fucked, lady. Get fucked. No, didn't like it. Thought that was annoying. And the spice rating, there is none. There's none. It's Christian romance. I gave this book 2.5 stars. I gave it 2.5 stars. I was not the biggest fan of it. Not to say there weren't positive elements. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the rest of the series. I'm still on Amish romance, but I found a better Amish romance that kind of hit where I wanted to hit. So I don't know if I'm going to be picking up the rest of the series, but who knows? It was really short. It was only like 188 pages, so quick novella length. I read it in like a day and a half. So, I mean, it's not horrible, but it wasn't what I wanted, and I ended up finding what I wanted much later, and I cannot wait to tell you guys about it. So, yeah. And then I also started The Weaver and the Witch Queen, which I don't have with me right now. Where did it go? I don't know where my Weaver and Witch Queen book went to. Well, shit. Oh, there it is. Haha. I was like, I know I have it. Right here. This was for the Black Cat Book Coven. I started reading this in week 34. And this is a Norwegian historical romance. We do show verbal abuse of a child on page. We have gore, and we do have LGBTQIA plus representation. I hope I got all the letters. I hope I did. But yeah, at this point, I was only just starting it and was really, really enjoying it. So I cannot wait to tell you the rest about it. But that is what I read in week 34. I really only completed the Amish romance, but I did make a dent and take, and I started another book. So that is what I got for you for week 34, and I will see you guys all soon with week 35. Bye, guys.